The heartbreaking news. On July 24th, 2025, at 9:51 a.m., a desperate 911 call from Clearwater Beach changed wrestling forever. The voice on the other end was reporting a cardiac arrest. The surgery that went wrong. The dispatch echoed. Fire attack Bravo, Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, cardiac arrest. The victim was identified as Terry Gene Bollea, better known to the world as Hulk Hogan. Hidden health decline. What led to this tragic morning? The truth behind his final months will shock you. For months before his death, the wrestling legend had been fighting the biggest battle of his life. Not in the ring, but for his very survival. We'll explore the heartbreaking timeline that led to that fatal morning. The tragic end. The chain of events began in May 2025 when Hogan underwent what his team described as a little fusion procedure. However, this was no minor surgery. It was a 4-level anterior cervical discectomy and fusion on his neck. Decades of body slams, chair shots, and wrestling punishment had finally caught up with the Hulkster. His wife, Sky, described it as an intense surgery with a long and layered healing process. Initially, everything seemed fine. His representatives told TMZ he was up and running the very next day, and close friend Eric Bischoff assured fans he was recovering well. But behind closed doors, something was terribly wrong. By mid-June, disturbing rumors began surfacing. Radio host Bubba, the Love Sponge, known for his inside knowledge, claimed Hogan was hospitalized with severe heart issues, and family members were allegedly summoned for what could be final goodbyes. Hogan's team quickly denied these reports, but the damage was done. It was clear something was terribly amiss. Then came July 1st, with the most chilling report yet. Bubba alleged that Hogan had suffered possible brain damage from prolonged breathing issues and had been on a ventilator. While his representatives vehemently denied any brain damage, the pattern was becoming undeniably clear. The surgery had gone horribly wrong. By July 9th, reports emerged that Hogan had been in the ICU for nearly 6 weeks. He was described as confused and unfit for any public appearances. The man who once lifted Andre the Giant above his head was now struggling simply to breathe on his own. The most heartbreaking revelation came from his longtime manager, Jimmy Hart, who revealed that Hogan had suffered an adverse reaction to his cervical surgery and had lost his ability to speak. The iconic voice that once shouted, "What you gonna do, brother?" was silenced. He was now being cared for at home in a hospital bed under constant medical supervision. Consider the gravity of this. A man who had undergone 25 surgeries over the previous decade, including 10 back operations, bilateral knee and hip replacements, was now fighting for his life in his own home. Unmarked ambulances were reportedly making transfers, and tight security was maintained to shield his condition from the public eye. His last public appearance was on January 6th, 2025, during WWE's Monday Night Raw Netflix debut. Even then, observant fans noticed something was off. He was booed by the crowd. But looking back, many now wonder if his health was already in serious decline. On that tragic morning of July 24th, at exactly 9:51 a.m., emergency services received that fateful 911 call, a cardiac arrest at Hogan's Clearwater Beach home. Clearwater Fire and Rescue arrived at 9:56 a.m. and immediately began treatment. Police arrived at 10:23 a.m. to support the medical response. By 10:32 a.m., Hogan was loaded into a Sunstar ambulance and rushed to Morton Plant Hospital. For 45 minutes, medical professionals fought desperately to save the life of the man who had entertained millions. But at 11:17 a.m., Terry Gene Bollea was tragically pronounced dead. The Hulkster's final match was over, and this time, there would be no comeback. Major Nate Burnside of the Clearwater Police Department confirmed there were no signs of trauma, no evidence of foul play, and no third-party involvement. This was a natural death, the result of a body that had endured decades of punishment finally giving out. The news of Hogan's death sent shockwaves through the world, reaching even the highest levels of American politics. President Donald Trump, who had developed a close friendship with Hogan, posted an emotional tribute on Truth Social. "We lost a great friend today, the Hulkster." Hulk Hogan was MAGA all the way. He was strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart. He gave an absolutely electric speech at the Republican National Convention. That was one of the highlights of the entire week. He entertained fans from all over the world, and the cultural impact he had was massive. To his wife, Sky, and family, we give our warmest, best wishes and love. Hulk Hogan will be greatly missed. Donald Trump Jr. also paid his respects, posting, "R.I.P. to a legend, Hulk Hogan." Just weeks before his death, Hogan was planning a comeback, launching his own wrestling league, Real American Freestyle, on Fox Nation. But his body, after decades of punishment, couldn't keep up with his fighting spirit. The official cause was cardiac arrest, but years of accumulated injuries and the recent surgery made it impossible for even the Hulkster to survive. From Hulkamania to heartbreak, Terry Bollia's final match wasn't in the ring, but in a hospital room. Even legends, it seems, cannot beat time. President Trump called him a true American icon. Hogan's last bell has rung, but what you gonna do, brother? Will echo forever. Rest in peace, Hulkster.